Hello and welcome to the Seeing Clearly YouTube channel. My name is Daniel Brunson and I've been an optician for over 20 years and I've been a runner for most of that time. I've run 5 marathons, half a dozen half marathons, and more 5Ks and 15Ks than I can remember. And today, if you're someone who likes to run like I do, then I am going to share with you the only running sunglasses that you'll ever need. But one quick thing before we get started. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so that you don't miss any of my upcoming content. So my top choice of sports eyewear sunglasses for runners to wear is made by Italian sports eyewear Rudy Project, and the frame is called the Rydon. And why is the Rydon the best choice for runners? Well, the frame, let's start with the design. It's got a fully adjustable nose bridge and it's got fully adjustable temple arms. Why are those two things important? Running in warmer weather, when lenses will sometimes have a tendency to fog, and running while wearing hats. I've run with many other sports eyewear frames that did not have these adjustable nose pads and adjustable temple arms, and they limit you in particular ways, and I'm going to show you why. First of all, this is the Rydon. This is the frame right here, and this is the adjustable nose bridge. So when you're running in warmer weather, and your body is really hot and you're putting off a lot of heat, that's when your lenses are going to have a tendency to fog up on you. Now, there's different ways around this with frame design that I'm going to get into later that have to do with venting and airflow. But this particular frame with the adjustable bridge, if that's happening to you during a run, you can squeeze these little nose pads together some. And what that will do is it'll allow the frame to fit up just a little bit higher and further out away from your face, which will allow air to flow over the top of the frame more easily, which will prevent the lenses from fogging. Okay, design feature number 2, these adjustable temple tips. You can bend them any direction you want. I have mine bent down slightly, and there's a reason I have mine bent down slightly like this. I like to run while wearing a hat, and I have another frame here. Well, let's just take this frame. I'm going to straighten these out. This is how most sports frames are made. The temples sort of go straight back. And so if you have a hat, you have it sort of low over the top of your ears, the temple arms have to go under the hat where they kind of squeeze against your head, or they have to go over the hat, which is okay, but it feels a little bit weird sometimes, and it can cause the frame to fit in weird ways because it's not actually laying against the sides of your head. Well, the Rudy Project T-Lock temple that they designed for the Rydon and many of their other frames, you just simply bend the temple arm down a little bit like that, and then it slides on really nicely under the hat. So it's not under or beneath the brim of the hat here, or beneath the hat on the side of your head. Instead of going under the hat or instead of going on top of the hat, it fits right next to the hat and it feels comfortable. You don't feel it, which is what wearing eyewear should be like. You shouldn't really feel the eyewear in a way that's uncomfortable. And having the ability to kind of play around with the way these temple arms fit your head. And another critical point with an adjustable temple arm is every head structure is a little different. So having the ability to adjust these arms to fit not only your head, but any headgear, hats, etc., that'll allow the frame to fit you more comfortably. It'll be one less thing you have to think about while you're actually running, which will help your running performance. So this is, for all of those reasons, for those 2 reasons that I just stated, this frame definitely takes my top choice. Okay, so we've talked about why the design of the Rydon is superior to most other running sunglasses. Now let's talk about the lenses. Much to love about this Impact X2 lens material. First of all, it's highly impact resistant, like another material that we know of that's been around for years called polycarbonate. It's impact resistant like polycarbonate, which means it's safe for your eyes, but optically, it is in many ways superior to polycarbonate. Number 1, it's 10% lighter weight, which is important for comfort. And number 2, it has a lower chromatic dispersion, which means
sharper visual acuity, which is so important when you're on the road, either running or cycling. Cyclists, this is a great lens for you as well. When you're moving at high speeds on the road, you want the sharpest visual acuity you can get because you need to see the lay of the road, see the lay of the land, see things as they're coming at you to give you that competitive edge. So I love this lens for all of those reasons. Now, the Polar 3FX multi-laser blue lens is also very sharp optically. It's designed to enhance your contrast to give you sharp visual acuity in all of those same conditions. So there's much to love about these lenses.
The thing I love so much about Rudy Project is they've got lenses specifically engineered for sports. So for running, you need a couple of critical things out of a lens. You need a lens color that's optimized for helping you view the road very well. You want to be able to see the contours and the crevices and every little pebble in the surface of the road when you're running. The ultimate lens color for this purpose is the one that I'm currently wearing. It's called Racing Red, and it has a 28% light transmission, which means it's not that dark of a lens. It's going to let in more light than what a typical sunglass that you might wear just for casual outdoor use, like driving or doing whatever you might do out on a sunny day. But by having an enhanced red color for road viewing, you will see the road more clearly, which will give you a competitive edge while running and racing. Now, this lens is, for me, really good for almost any day. Some people, you may find that your light sensitivity to brightness, you might be a little more light sensitive. And so you may prefer a lens that's got a little bit lower light transmission, which will be a little more comfortable for you on sunny days. And that lens is the multi-laser blue lens. The Polar, it's the full name of this lens is the Polar 3FX multi-laser blue. So what that means is it's a polarized lens. It has a blue mirror coating on the front, and it's got an anti-reflective coating on the back side to prevent light from reflecting off the back of the lens to give you very sharp clarity. Now, the blue mirror blocks just a little bit more light than a lens that doesn't have a mirror. Now, the light transmission on the Polar 3FX multi-laser blue is 16%. So 16 compared to 28% on the Racing Red. It's letting in less light, which means no matter who you are, you might feel like this lens is more comfortable to wear on sunny days. Me personally, I became pretty comfortable wearing the Racing Red lens on just about any day, sunny or overcast. The Racing Red does have a definite advantage on an overcast day over the multi-laser blue, because when it's overcast and it's not as bright, you want a lens that lets in a little more light, because on an overcast day, having that lens that has the higher light transmission will definitely give you sharper clarity when you're viewing the road. But these are the only two lenses you will ever need, no matter who you are. And this is the really nice thing about this frame. You don't have to buy two frames. I have two frames right here, two different Rydon frames. Almost like everything Rudy Project does, the lenses are interchangeable. So you can simply have a replacement set of lenses, and you can have one frame where you can take your Racing Red lens out on a sunny day, and you can put your laser blue lens in on the bright and sunny day, or then if you have an overcast day, you can put your Racing Red lens in and interchange them. They pop in and out very easily, as you just saw me demonstrate. So those are the only two lenses you're ever going to need. Now, there's actually a third lens that might make this easier if you say, you know what, that's pretty cool. I like that the lenses are interchangeable, but I don't know if I want to have to, look at the day. How bright is it? Is the multi-laser blue going to be best, or is the Racing Red going to be best? I don't know if I want to be interchanging my lenses all the time based on the day. So there's a third lens, and this third lens is called the Impact X Racing Red lens. What that means is, and I have it right here in my case. I haven't opened it yet. This is the Impact X Racing Red lens. So you see here, very clear. This is a photochromic lens. This lens is going to be clear indoors. It's going to be clear in the dark at night. When you step out into the sun, it's going to be UV activated. And the brighter it is, the more it's going to resemble this racing red lens right here. The stronger the UV, the brighter the sun, the darker this lens is going to become. But it's going to darken to this nice racing red shade, the best shade for road running and racing. And this lens to me was my go-to over all of the years that I was that I was running, that I was marathon training, all of the years that I was training for any race that I was doing. This was my go-to lens, and here's why. I ran with a group of guys that we liked to go really early on Sunday morning. We would go running before sunup, maybe an hour before sunup, depending on time of year. So it was clear, it protected my eyes from the wind, gave me comfort. We would still be up on those long 2.5 hour, 3 hour runs. We'd still be out running long after the sun came up, and this lens will gradually darken as the skies brighten as the sun comes up. So it's always the right color. And there's just a little bit of UV coming in through my windshield right here. So it might be hard to see this on camera, but it's slightly darkened just a little bit. Now here in just a moment, I'm gonna step outside and we're gonna watch this lens darken even more. All right, so now I'm gonna take this lens outside and we're gonna watch the lenses darken. I'm gonna take my hat off simply because it's already an overcast day, and if you wear a hat, your lenses that are photochromic, they will still darken, but the hat shades and covers and blocks a lot of the UV and they won't darken as much. And they will darken, but I wanna really get the full effect. So let's step out into the sun. It's pretty loud and noisy out here with traffic and it's very windy, so I hope you can still hear me okay. But we're gonna watch these lenses darken, and I'm just gonna go for a little jog down the trail, and my hair's gonna be looking all kinds of awesome in this windy weather. But there you see it, they're already darkening up quite nicely. And here's the thing. Do you see any blue sky behind me? I don't. I see pretty thick cloud cover. And when you have a thick cloud cover like that, the clouds are actually blocking a lot of the UV from the sun. And UV from the sun is what activates these lenses. And everything feels really comfortable. My eyes are really at ease with this shade of darkness. I wouldn't want it any darker than this. And the color red, again, so nice for the trail. When you're looking at a trail that's got some bumps and got some contours and pebbles, you really need to see it very nicely. You need to see it clearly. And this is a color that's going to give you that. All right, so as luck would have it, the very next day, the sun actually did come out. We had a nice, beautiful blue sky, and I wanted to give you the opportunity to look through the Impact X2 Racing Red lens as it changes from clear to red. So I pulled it out of a case in the clear state, held it in front of my camera, and filmed for about 60 seconds while it darkened to its darkest state. I've sped this portion of the video up just a little bit so we don't have to wait the full 60 seconds, but you can see here it's nice and dark, and the resolution and the contrast is super sharp looking through this lens.
Now, in closing, if you're a runner, the only sunglasses that you're going to need is the Rudy Project Rydon with either the 2-lens setup or the 1-lens setup. The 2-lens setup being one set of racing red lenses and one set of Polar 3FX multi-laser blue lenses with HDR. The HDR stands for high dynamic range, or the single lens setup, which is my personal favorite option, the Impact X2 clear to racing red. As I said before, I love this option because there's no changing the lenses out. This is a photochromic lens that will always be the color you need it to be when you're outdoors. Okay, so I know some of you have been watching this video and you've been thinking, okay, this is all great, but I require prescription lenses in my sunglasses. So here's the really cool thing. All of the lens options and types of lenses and colors that I've described in this video are available in your prescription. So check with your local optician who carries Rudy Project, and they can help you fit you with a pair of prescription lenses in the Rydon frame with the lenses I've described. Or you can definitely feel free to give us a call at Hicks Brunson Eyewear, my store, and I or one of the opticians on our team will gladly help you get a pair of Rydon sunglasses in your prescription. You can visit us online at hicksbrunson.com to learn more, and I will make all of the links available down below so that you can purchase a pair of Rydon frames. Or, as I said, you can give us a call and we'll help you if you have prescription needs. Thank you so much for spending time with me today here on the Seeing Clearly YouTube channel. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because it is my goal for each and every one of you to keep seeing clearly.